Hello. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back. It's that time of the week. It's time for LSR, and it's Group 2 here on a Saturday night. And today, for round 2, we arrive at Monza. Now, last race was a pretty exciting race, you would have to say. Lots of battles up and down the field, and rain halfway through the race. Let's see if we have another exciting race like that this race. But last race, I just have to quickly remind myself who won. Yuki was actually the winner of that race. Yeah, I remember now. Yuki had a pretty dominant race at Belgium and controlled it really well and ended up winning that race. So he is in the lead of the championship after round 1. So that was a great start to his season. Big Baguette finished P2, which was a very good finish for himself and Alpine. And Breakfast King was the last man on the podium with Elian, the reigning champion, finishing P4. So yeah, that was just a quick reminder of last round. But let's have a quick look here at the qualifying for Monza, and let's see who's actually gotten out on track first. As you can see, a lot of people deciding to go on mediums, and a lot of people also deciding to go on soft. So it looks like the Haskar of Zayek is going to be the first person to set a lap time. So let's see, as we're going to ride on board for the first hot lap of the session with Zayek on the soft compound tires, DRS wide open, and coming into the turn 1 chicane. Let's see how well he can do this, braking and at a perfect spot, and not getting too high on the curb there, not taking too much curve, as he actually has a bit of wheel spin there coming out of the chicane. Definitely a very regular spot for wheel spin. I think I actually in the Discord, I think Zayek said he would be practicing without the traction control for this race, so he's definitely going to struggle a little bit with the wheel spin. But it looks like the next person out was one of the AlphaTauris. That's Husky 13, who is going to be the first person to set a lap time, so long as he doesn't invalidate it or spin on this lap. So let's see, going through the second Lesmo now, misses that apex but uses the exit curb quite nicely, so loses a little bit of time but not too much, thankfully. And it looked like he might have actually had a lockup into there, I'm not sure. And coming into the Ascari chicane now, and hitting the first apex quite nicely, and actually keeping the car relatively under control. And it looked like he had that down pretty nicely, and wasn't really at risk at spinning, which is very easy to spin there. So this is looking like a decent lap so far. And coming out of the final corner now, he's gotten a nice little slipstream off of the Williams of, I think that's Worried Cloud. And across the line is going to be a 121.9 for Husky, and that is the time for the rest of the drivers to be, as it looks like Zayek will be going out for another lap, and we're just waiting for a couple more drivers to set some lap times. And how about we ride on board with someone on medium? So I'm having a quick scout up and down the field, and look at that. As I was saying, I was going to look for someone with mediums, and last race's winner, the leader in the championship on the medium compound tires, has set a 21.1, and that is quite a bit faster than Husky's 21.9, and it's on medium, so that is definitely a great lap from Ecos Yuki. But we'll have to see what the rest of the drivers can set, as Awesome Gumball on the soft compound tires sets a 120.7, which is 4/10 faster than Ecos Yuki. Let's have a quick look at the reigning champion, who is on the medium compound tires. It actually looks like he has invalidated his lap time. So Elian, on his first lap of the session on the medium compound tires, has actually invalidated his lap time. So he's going to have to either come into the pit lane or go for one more lap, as it looks like there's actually a Red Bull parked up on the exit of the Lesmo there. That looks like Ace Senna. He must have spun on the exit of the second Lesmo. I think that's the name of it. But as I was flicking through the cars there, it actually looked like SSL Mango set a purple middle sector. So let's see what kind of lap time he sets. And across the line, I thought he was coming into the pit lane there for a second, but no, he's just getting the shortest run to the line, and he sets the provisional pole time of a 1 minute 20.6. So yeah, I saw a purple sector 2 there, and I thought he was going quite fast, and clearly he was. He sets the provisional pole time, and a pretty fast time. 120.6 is definitely a very fast time, especially for Group 2, and this isn't even the fastest group. This is just Group 2, and these guys are setting 120.6s, and that is definitely very, very fast. So you can imagine what the lap times are going to be like in Group 1, but we're focusing on Group 2 now, and let's have a quick look at some of the people who haven't actually set a lap time yet. So let's see here. It looks like Not Sir Vapor is actually out on a lap right now. It looks like he's coming to the end of it, but he's actually invalidated, so he's going to be going for another lap time. So how about we ride on board for this entire lap, and let's see how fast he can go after these 1 lap old soft compound tires. So coming into the turn 1 chicane, and hitting both of those apexes quite nicely, using third gear on the exit to avoid any wheel spin and get the best exit possible. So coming up up the hill here and into the second chicane of the circuit, and he's actually set a purple sector 1, so he's going pretty fast here. He hits both of those apexes really nicely and gets an amazing exit too. So this is looking like quite a nice lap into the 2 Lesmos, and let's see what kind of exit he can get off the second. He hits that apex, goes a little bit wide there, but manages to keep it within the track limits, and that was on the very limit of the track there, so this could be a very fast time. He does not set a purple sector 2, so yeah, that second Lesmo definitely lost him a little bit of time. But coming into the Sky chicane, once again, another driver who looked like he really had it under control going through there, and wasn't really at risk of any oversteer. And coming into Parabolica now, and out of Parabolica, let's see what kind of exit he can get. It's a pretty nice and smooth one, as he actually decides to box. So he set a purple sector 1, but apparently that wasn't good enough. Maybe that second Lesmo cost him more time than I thought. So he's decided to come into the pit lane, and he's most likely going to put on a fresh set of soft compound tires. So let's have a quick look, and there's a couple more people have actually set lap times. So SSL Mango still on provisional pole position with a 120.6. Awesome Gumball right behind him with a 120.7. Alexis Beast sets the lap that's good enough for P3 on the soft tires. He sets a 120.8. Right behind him is Ekos Yuki's medium compound tire lap with a 121.1. And Danny Stiller has set a 121.8. Husky has set a 121.9, and Electric MV is the last man in the 121s with a 121.9, and that puts him in P7 in this session. But just having a quick look for someone who is actually out on a lap, as it looks like Zudi is out on a lap on the medium compound tires in the later stage of the session, to be honest. As I'm having a quick look, it doesn't look like he's using any ERS, so I'm not sure if he's on a push lap. We'll have to see coming into the second chicane how hard he pushes into here. He brakes nice and late, uses plenty of engine braking, but he misses the second apex, so it does not look like he is on a push lap at this stage of the session. So it looks like one man who is on a push lap is actually Awesome Gumballs. Coming into the second chicane, manages to hit the second apex there, but goes slightly wide on the first apex. Coming into the 2 Les runners now, you don't really want to touch that inside curb as it can spin you, but on the second Lesmo you want to use plenty of entry and exit curb, trying to get the slipstream off of Luke 2 Red to gain as much time as possible coming into the Ascari chicane, on the run down to the Ascari chicane. And let's see how he takes this. Uses plenty of curb on the entry and also on the exit, but as you can see, he didn't have it as under control as people like Husky and Not Sir Vapor. He had a little bit of oversteer on the exit of that. So coming into Parabolica, let's see what he can do. And on the exit, he actually uses a little bit of the exit curbing there. And across the line, what kind of time is it going to be on the medium compound tyres? He does not actually improve. I didn't have the lap data on there, sadly, but he doesn't improve on his lap time, so that medium lap isn't really going to do him any good. But I guess he was just seeing if he could go faster on the mediums, which is definitely very difficult to do, and it's most likely not going to happen, as Ikos Yuki is still the fastest person on the mediums and is in P4 in the session, so he might actually stick with that lap. Let's have a quick look down the field, as it looks like Danny Stiller is on a lap, and he is now coming through the second sector and into the two Lesmos, and doesn't use as much exit curb off of the first Lesmo, but uses a lot more entry curb on the second Lesmo there. So trying to carry as much speed through the apexes, and coming into the Sky Chicane, a little traffic up ahead, and only just about hits that apex, and he gets a bit too much on the curbing there of the second part of the Sky Chicane, and he gets a bit of oversteer, but he's still on this lap, and it still looks like it's going to be a competitive time. So coming through Parabolica, he goes a tiny bit deep there, and gets a tiny bit of wheel spin as well off of the exit of there, but across the line, what kind of time is it going to be? It looks like a 1:21.4, which is going to put him in P6, because Vicensky and Worried Cloud have improved. Worried Cloud has set a 1:21.8, and Vicensky set a 1:21.3, which is 2/10 off of Ikos Yuki's medium lap time. So that was a great lap time from Ikos Yuki, and as you can see, he hasn't come out of the pit lane since. So I guess he'll be looking to stick with that lap. Let's have a quick look down the field. One of the championship contenders last season, Ace Senna, is currently on a lap, and coming into the third sector now and into the Sky Chicane, as Mango actually sets a new fastest lap of a 1:20.3, which is 4/10 faster than his rival of Awesome Gumball. Elian on the medium compound tires, that's a 1:21 flat, which is a 10th faster than Ikos Yuki's time, and that is a great qualifying position for Elian on the mediums. And Not Sir Vapor has just gone P5 with a 1:21.13 100th ahead of his Mercedes teammate, but Ace Senna is going to overtake him with a 1:21 flat on the soft compound tires, which puts him P5. So these are some pretty competitive times from these drivers. So as after that 1:20.3, which is a very, very fast lap from SSL Mango, that keeps him in provisional pole, and by a decent 4/10. Awesome Gumball's 1:20.7 is going to keep him in P2 for most of the session, but we'll have to see if he can improve by 4/10, which is quite a lot to improve by. Alexis Beast is in P3 and on his outlap, and getting ready to set another lap. Elian has just come off of a 1:21 flat on the medium compound tires, which are 3 laps old, so it might not be the most beneficial thing to start on the mediums now that they're so old, because he messed up on his first few runs. Ace Senna and P5 on those softs. Not Sir Vapor. It looks like Ikos Yuki is going to come out of the pit lane on the soft compound tires. He decided that P7 is not the best position, and it's not worth it to start on the medium compound tires if you're going to qualify P7. So he's going to be going out for another lap. Vicensky, Danny Stiller, and Worried Cloud all in the pit lane, as Worried Cloud is actually exiting the pit lane. Let's quickly ride off board with Zayek here. It looks like he's just about to finish up his lap. He's set a 1:21.8 so far, but let's see what he can do coming out of Parabolica, and using plenty of the exit curb there in the early stage of the exit, and across the line. Looks like he might have messed up his lap at some point because he sets a 1:28.8. So let's see if he's going for another push lap into this turn 1 chicane. And yeah, it looks like that might have been a cool down lap for him. So coming out of this turn 1 chicane, once again, just gets too early on the power there. But it actually looks like he might continue on with this lap, because he hasn't invalidated it because of that. But that's definitely going to lose him quite a bit of time. So once again, he's just adjusting to the traction control, which is definitely very difficult to do for the first time. But coming into the two Lesmos now, You definitely have a lot more grip when you actually have the traction control turned off, so you can take these corners at a much higher speed. But as you can see there, gets a bit of wheel spin coming out of the second Lesmo, and he has completely broken his front wing, and that is going to be his qualifying session over. And it looks like he's P12 right now, and we'll have to see if he stays there. Let's have a quick look up and down the grid at who's on a lap. It looks like Ikos Yuki has just put in a purple sector 1 and is coming into 2 Lesmos now. Is he going to get a lot of wheel spin off of the second Lesmo like Zayek? We'll have to see. And he uses plenty of the entry curve there and exit curve. So definitely looking fast there through the middle sector. But coming into the final sector now in the Ascari chicanes, he sets a purple sector 2. He's 8/10 up on his time. This is looking good for a provisional pole time, but we'll have to see. Coming out of the Ascari chicane, look quite fast and under control as well. So coming into Parabolica now, can he nail this corner and go for pole position in this session as he gets nice and close to the curb on the inside there, and probably took that very, very well. And the cross line, it's going to be a 1:19.9. And as you can see, that is an absolutely rapid time, dipping into the 1:19s. He is now 8/10 ahead of P3 on the grid, but just 4/10 ahead of Mango, who looks like he's going to be coming out for one last lap in this session. But that is an absolutely rapid time, and that's why I personally think Ikos Yuki should be in Group 1, but I think it was a problem with he couldn't make the time. So for now, he is going to stay in Group 2 with an absolutely rapid time, and he's most likely going to win the championship with pace like that. But let's see if Mango can challenge him. I don't think he was actually able to make it last race. He completely cuts the first chicane to try and get to the finish line before the session ends, as he's gone out quite late in the session, you'd have to say. It looks like Awesome Gumball has actually just started his lap, so let's ride on board with him coming into turn 1 chicane once again, and actually misses that apex a little bit, but that's helped him on the apex there. Going deep into the first turn has actually somewhat helped him on the exit, so that might gain him a little bit of time. Coming out of the first sector, how much is he improving by? He's actually not improving, so maybe that exit didn't help him as much as I thought it did. He looked like he took that chicane very, very nicely. Not really getting too much oversteer into the second Lesmo, taking a nice tight line with a very good exit. So this is looking like a pretty good lap here, as he uses plenty of the exit curve once again. But is he going to be improving coming out of the middle sector? Because it looks like an amazing lap to me, but I might be seeing things wrong. He's 2.5 tenths down coming out of the middle sector, so I don't know what's going on. This looks like an absolutely amazing lap, a really clean lap and fast, but it does not look like he is improving. So SSL Mango is now about to start his final lap of the session, and his challenge for pole is going to be this lap. So coming into the first chicane here, looks like he has a bit of a lockup there, coming into turn 1 chicane, and off the exit, that was quite a nice exit. He's going to take a very, very tight line here up in this right-hander, coming into the second chicane out of the first sector. He sets a purple sector 1, so he's looking quite good in the first sector there, as it looked like he did not use as much curb on the second part of the chicane there, which might have actually gained him a little bit of time, since it is a sausage curb, which can lose you a bit of time if you don't take it properly. And off the exit curb there, you can see he was early on the accelerator and really carrying a lot of speed there, and almost spun the car. That's how fast he was going, as he sets a purple sector 2. Even though he's only 1/10 up on his time, he set a purple sector 2, so maybe sector 3 Parabolica and the Ascari chicane is where he's lost all of his time. We'll have to see, and let's see if he can nail this corner, because Ikos Yuki took Parabolica really nicely on his lap, and it looks like SSL Mango has taken it quite similarly, but he's gone a bit too early on the power there, broken his front wing and ended his qualifying session a little early there, as he really had to push there if he wanted pole position, because he was only about 1/10 up on his time, and he needed to improve by 4/10 to go for pole position. And Ikos Yuki looks like he is going to get pole position for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza with a 1:19.925. So that was an amazing lap from him. it looks like he's actually run out of fuel, and he is just limping back to the pit lane to end the session. So there you go, pole position for Ikos Yuki, and I'm sure he's going to be very, very happy with that. Estelle Mango for Red Bull is going to come home in P2 in that qualifying session with his teammate who was challenging for the championship coming home in P8, and Ikos Yuki's teammate Not Sir Vapor finishing in P9. But we'll have to have a quick look up and down the grid once we get to the results page. So there you go, Ikos Yuki with the fastest lap of the session, 4/10 faster than SSL Mango, who was 3/10 faster than Electric Envy, who actually ends up taking P3 away from Awesome Gumball, who finishes P4. Alexis Beast in P5. Danny Stiller manages to get a 20.9 and is the last person to dip into 20.9s, and that gives him 6th place. Elian Bine on the medium compound tires. He's decided to stick with the medium compound tires, and that is going to put him P7 in the session with the alternate strategy. A Senna and Nutter Vapor will be starting in P8 and P9 with a 121 flat and a 121.1. Vuchensky is going to be the last person in the top 10. Santo, Zuti, Worried Cloud, and Zayek. And I think 2 more drivers are going to finish out the grid for today's race. So let's see what happens in this race, because that was a pretty exciting qualifying session. And for the majority of the session, it looked like Mango was actually going to get pole, and quite easily too. But Ikos Yuki didn't want to stick it out on the mediums, so he decided to go for a lap on the softs and really showed his true pace at the end of the session there. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting race. We'll have to see what happens. And Group 2 has been known to deliver very exciting races, so I'm really happy that I'm actually able to commentate on this group in this league. But it looks like a bit overcast conditions, and could we see what we saw last weekend, a bit of rain halfway through the race? We'll have to see, as drivers are going to be getting ready to go on their formation lap. They're just adjusting their setups and their strategies just before the race begins. Yeah, so the overcast conditions, as I mentioned before, we'll have to see if that means there's going to be rain, because that could definitely make it exciting. And since this track has so many traction zones, it has 3 chicanes, and I can only imagine how difficult it would be on the exit of the first chicane, the second chicane, and the Ascari chicane, and Parabolica too. If you're playing with the traction control off, it's definitely very, very difficult. So we'll have to see if there's rain in the race, because that could definitely throw a spanner in the works there. But let's have a quick look down the rest of the grid, which we didn't get to see before the game cut us off. Santo in P11 in the Alfa Romeo, starting right behind his teammate Vuchensky. Zuti in P12, and it looks like Big Baguette's teammate Zuti, as Big Baguette sadly couldn't make it to this race after coming P2. As it looks like Zuti might be violating the safety precautions, as he's not wearing a helmet there. And that's a bit of a funny glitch, as it actually looks like he's been disqualified for making contact with Zayek so early on the lap. So those two guys' tires are going to be very, very cold at the start, and they are not going to get a lot of traction. And for Zayek, that's really going to hurt, as obviously he's not playing with the traction control. Word Cloud in P13 in that Williams. Husky only coming home in P15, so I'm not sure what happened in his qualifying session. He was P6 at one stage, but has fallen all the way down to P15 in the qualifying. Maybe he couldn't get a proper lap in. Luke 2 Red in P16, and Zeri Derry in rounds off the grid in P17. So let's have a quick look at the tire strategies here, as looks like most drivers going for the soft compound tires. As you can see, the predicted pit stop strategy is a soft medium strategy, and Elian Bayan, Husky, Luke 2 Red, and Derry are all going to be going from mediums to softs. So they're all on the alternate strategy. But it actually looks like Santo, Zuti, Word Cloud, and Zayak have all decided to stay on the soft compound tires and not use the advantage of the free choice of tires there, and gone on to the mediums and ended off on the softs. But that will no longer be a rule in the new F1 game, as they've brought in a new rule that you can start on whatever tires you like after qualifying, which is definitely an interesting rule. But we'll have to see how that plays out in real life and in league racing. So here we go. It looks like Derry is just rounding out the grid here, lining up on the grid, and we'll be ready to get racing once these two drivers have lined up on the grid. So they're both on the alternate strategy along with Husky and Elian. So Elian's definitely going to be one to watch in this race, the reigning champion, and on the alternate strategy. Here we go, Ikos Yuki lining up on pole position and getting ready for the 5 red lights to go green. Well, go out, I guess. So here we go. We have a bit of an odd camera angle here. I don't know why I can't change it, but maybe we'll get an onboard start, as it looks like someone's still loading into the session. So we're just waiting a little bit longer there, as we're waiting quite a bit here. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if someone's lagged out of the session, as it looks like the driver's tires are going to be getting very cold if the session is going to stay paused like this. So let's hope the session actually fixes itself. As it actually looks like the 5 red lights are about to go out. They're gone and we're away. So let's see what Ikos Yuki kind of start can he get, as it looks like Electric Envy got a pretty good start up against SSL Mango, and he's actually going to overtake him into turn 1. SSL Mango actually got a really bad start there, as Electric Envy completely cuts the first chicane there, as he's going to have to take a 5-second time penalty, and so does SSL Mango and Awesome Gumball. So a lot of people had to completely cut the first chicane there because they couldn't actually make the corner. So Ikos Yuki stays in P1, SSL Mango in P2, Electric Envy in P3, but he does have a 5-second time penalty, and that's definitely going to hurt him a lot in this race. So we'll have to see how that plays out, as he actually goes wide there, coming out of the first Lesmo and into second Lesmo. I'm not sure if he's got wing damage here or what's happening, but he's lost position to Danny Stiller ahead of him, and that penalty is really going to hurt him as well, as it looks like A. Senna has overtaken him on the run down to Yaskari chicane. And let's see, coming into Yaskari chicane, what kind of grip he has, and it looks like he has pretty decent grip, so maybe wing damage isn't the problem, but he's lost quite a few positions off the start there, and maybe he's lost his front right end plate, as he comes by here. No, it doesn't look like he's lost it, so it looks like his front wing isn't damaged, but he's just lost a lot of positions off the start and has gotten himself a 5-second time penalty, so that's definitely not the best start for him. And it's definitely not the best start for Mango either, who also has a 5-second time penalty because he couldn't actually make the corner. He broke a bit too late, just like Electric Envy. They were both going side by side trying to maintain their positions, but instead they both lost time and they both gotten a 5-second time penalty. That's definitely not going to help them in this race. Danny Stiller is 1.5 seconds behind the top two, so he's not going to have DRS once it's enabled. Ace Senna is on the teetering edge of the DRS of Danny Stiller ahead of him, and it looks like the rest of the drivers all the way down to about P10, as Elian Bayan is actually in P10, so he's lost a lot of positions off the start too, but that's to be expected on these medium compound tires that are obviously very old from the qualifying. I think they were 3 laps old, maybe more, from the qualifying session, so he did not have a lot of grip off the start, and maybe this alternate strategy isn't going to work out like he thought it would, because his medium tires are so worn. So the game's actually predicted that some drivers might go for a 2-stop here and go medium soft soft or soft soft medium, but we'll have to see. I'm not sure if that's right, as a couple of drivers in the midfield getting quite feisty. Looks like Zayek and Luke Tourette having a nice little battle for a P13, and Worried Cloud overtakes Santo into turn 1 without the power of the DRS into that turn 1 chicane there, as it looks like Worried Cloud, Santo and Zuti all battling it out for P6 in this race, with Electric Envy getting quite close to the back of A Senna, who's getting quite close to the back of Danny Stiller for the last spot for the battle for P3 in the last spot on the podium. As you can see there, Elian's teammate Electric Envy getting all over the first part of the chicane there, and his car actually got a bit of airtime there as Danny Stiller has gone very wide into the first Lesmo and is now going side by side with Worried Cloud. He's actually hit Worried Cloud off there coming out of the second Lesmo. It looked like when they tried to go side by side, Worried Cloud had to make a correction, which ended up hitting him into Danny Stiller there, and he is now out of this Grand Prix, and that has brought out the virtual safety car. So a shame to see it. He's not out of the Grand Prix. It looks like Worried Cloud is still in the Grand Prix, but he's completely lost his front wing. As you can see there, he has absolutely no grip going through the Ascari chicane. So he's going to have to box for a new front wing. Ekos Yuki on just lap 3 is going for a very aggressive strategy here, and he is going to box for medium compound tires. I don't know if those are going to be able to make it to the end of the Grand Prix, but the virtual safety car is now over, and these medium compound tires are going to have to go 24 laps in this race. We'll have to see if he can pull it off, or maybe he's going for the 2-stop in this race, which would definitely be an interesting strategy from him. But Elian Bine, because of Worried Cloud and Ekos losing so much time positions because of their pit stops, is now up into P8 and is the lead medium runner in this race. But once again, his tyres are going to be quite worn from qualifying, and he's got Pachensky up ahead of him on the soft compound tyres. He's going to have a lot more grip and definitely a lot more pace than Elian's. Actually looks like Derry has spun coming out of the first Lesmo. Has he broken his front wing? Looks like he's actually managed to keep his front wing intact there, but he's definitely lost a lot of time and possibly overheated the tyres there, and that's definitely going to hurt his race, as it looks like there's a bit of a battle going on for P2. Electric Envy is looking for a move down the inside into Parabolica, and can he make this move stick, or is A Senna going to hold it around the outside? And they're still going side by side, but off the exit, it looks like A Senna has maintained P2 for the time being, but Electric Envy, with the power of the DRS, is going to make quite an easy move before the braking zone coming into the turn 1 chicane. So he is now up into P2, and SSL Mango is in P1 with a 5-second time penalty. But he's got a 5-second gap to Electric Envy and A Senna behind him. So SSL Mango might be looking good to win this race, because Ekos Yuki decided to go for the 2-stop unless he really stretches those tires. So let's have a quick look. The gap between Ekos Yuki and SSL Mango is 20 seconds, so it's definitely going to be hard for him to make up all that time, or we'll have to see if he stretches those tires or if he goes for a 2-stop. Either way, it's definitely an interesting strategy to see from him. Elian has actually moved himself up into P6 and is in an Alfa Romeo sandwich right now, as A Senna is going to go down the inside into the Ascari chicane, and he's made the move stick on Electric Envy there, but Electric Envy is going to fight back into Parabolica, or is he? Maybe he's going to wait for the DRS on the main straight. He has a look down the inside, and it looks like he's fully alongside and he's made the move stick, but A Senna realizes that he is going to get the DRS on this next straight now, and he's going to do the same thing that Electric Envy did to him the last lap, and with the power of the DRS, he's going to make a nice and easy move coming into the turn 1 chicane on Electric Envy. So he is going to maintain P2 in this race after going down the inside into the Ascari chicane, and he's quite lucky that that didn't end in tears for the Red Bull and Ferrari driver. Elian is now up into P4. He's made up so many positions in this race. I don't know how he's done it, but maybe the mediums are starting to be a little faster than the soft compound tires, as it looks like he's starting to find quite a lot of pace on lap 6 here, and he's right behind his teammate now in P4. And it looks like maybe this alternate strategy will work out perfectly for him, as he's going to have soft compound tires at the end of the race, which is going to do him wonders. Ikos Yuki making up positions, and he's now up into P10 as he overtook Zayek, who's actually had a spun at the second chicane there. So definitely struggling with the traction. But moving back up to the front of the grid, Electric MV is on the back of Ace Senna. Is he going to be looking for a move down to Parabolica, or is he going to wait for the turn 1 chicane? I think he might actually wait this time. Yes, he stays in the slipstream of Ace Senna, and that is going to make it quite an easy move on Ace Senna coming onto the straight here. And looks like these two drivers are just giving each other the DRS and just starting to pull away from the drivers behind. But even with them giving each other the DRS and trying to pull away, Elian has actually caught up to them by about a second last lap. So he is gaining quite a lot of time. As you can see, Ace Senna got a bit too early on the power there and got quite a bit of wheel spin coming out of the first chicane there, and that has actually allowed Elian to catch up by about 7/10 in one turn. But the safety car has now been deployed because Derry has retired from the session on the exit of the second Lesmo, and this has not helped out Elian at all on that alternate strategy, because everyone is now going to box for the medium compound tires, and they're most likely going to go to the end of the race. But Elian either has to box for higher compound tires or stay out and box later on in the race, possibly hope for another safety car, which would definitely help him out in this race. So it's going to be interesting to see what strategy the drivers actually go with, as SL Mango has priority in the pit lane over his teammate, and Electric MV has priority in the pit lane over his teammate Elian, who's right behind. So if Elian wants to box this lap, he's going to have to double stack behind Electric MV. So coming up to the pit lane now, SSL Mango is the first person to box, but what tires is he going to be going on to? It looks like he's boxed for the medium compound tires, but he actually has to serve that 5-second time penalty, so at least it won't be looming over him at the end of the race, and it's actually the perfect time to serve it under the safety car conditions, because he's come out ahead of everyone else behind him. So he no longer has a penalty, and he hasn't lost any track position. But I don't think the same can be said for Electric MV, who has to take his 5-second time penalty, and that has also hurt Elian, who had to wait for Electric MV's 5-second time penalty, and now Elian has just lost so much track position. He's down from P4 to P9, so double stacking and waiting for his teammates' 5-second longer pit stop. So yeah, this safety car has definitely not given Elian any favours, and he's now on the soft tyres, which I don't think are going to make it to the end of the race. And Ikos Yuki has now been promoted up to into P1, and he's only got 3-lap old medium compound tires, so maybe this strategy has worked out just fine, as I definitely don't think it's the right one, because if he stayed out on the soft compound tires with the rest of the drivers, he still would have been in P1, but he would have had 3-lap fresher medium compound tires. So let's actually have a quick look here, as it looks like SL Mango has got another 5-second time penalty. So he had 10 seconds of time penalties at one stage in this race, but he served 5 of them in the pit lane. So he's now back down to 5 seconds, but no one else has a penalty up and down the field apart from P15 and P16. So he's going to lose plenty of positions from that penalty. So yeah, I think that's really going to hurt him in this race. I'm not sure where he got that second 5-second time penalty, but he has gotten it, and that is not going to help him at all. So we're just waiting for the rest of the drivers to catch up to the safety car queue, and I think the safety car will be coming in the very next lap, and then we can get back under racing way. But yeah, so we have Ikos Yuki in the Mercedes in P1, Mango in P2 with a 5-second time penalty. Ace Senna is P3, so it's a Red Bull double podium currently. If you forget that Mango has a 5-second time penalty. Electric MV is in P4 after serving his 5-second time penalty. Vicensky has moved up to P5. Elian has somehow made it up to P6. I'm not sure what happened there, but I don't know if someone spun under the safety car, or if a few people just boxed as Luke Tourette is actually in the pit lane. But he somehow managed to recover himself up into P6 and is on the soft compound tyres, so he's going to have a lot more pace than the drivers ahead and behind. Zuti is actually up into P7 for Alpine and is going to be looking to score decent points for the team after they got second place in the last race. So they'll definitely be one to watch in the Constructors' Championship, along with Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes. So it could be a 3 to 4 way battle for the Constructors' Championship. We'll have to see. As Vicensky actually makes a mistake there under safety car conditions. He's gone a bit aggressive with heating his tyres, and he's actually hit into the wall, but Elian has actually let him through, and the game has allowed it. So hopefully Vicensky hasn't gotten wing damage from that, but he's lucky that Elian actually let him through there. So he's back up into P5. But yeah, that was definitely an interesting mistake to make, as it looked like Elian actually made contact with the back of Vicensky. Has Elian actually pushed him off of the track there, because he made contact into the Scottish game? I'm not sure what is going on with Vicensky at all, but it looks like Elian is not going to be letting him through this time. So I don't know if Elian pushed him off the track or if he got wheel spin. I really have no clue what's going on. And the safety car still isn't coming in this lap because we're waiting for Zayek to catch up, as Vicensky pulls into the pit lane, so maybe he's gotten wing damage because of that. So I'm not sure if that's Elian's fault or if he was being a bit too aggressive with the tyre heating. But coming into the pit lane now, Awesome Gumball has also decided to pit. And yeah, he actually has to get a front wing change there. So I'm not sure if that was because of contact with Elian there. I really have no clue, but he is now going to fall all the way to last place in this race, and that was a shame to see, because he was looking good last race, he was looking good this race. I think he came top 6 last race. Let's see if he can recover in this race for Alfa Romeo. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a struggle from P16, sorry, very last place in this race. But I'm just having a quick look now at the Grid 2 results. Vicensky actually came P7 last race. We had a pretty decent race last race, but that wing damage is really going to cost him this race. A lot of time and plenty of track position too. And yeah, again, I don't know if that was Elian's fault or if it was his own fault. So we'll have to see. I'll definitely update you on that next week once the stewards' decisions have been posted. But the safety car is now in this lap. We're just going to have a quick rundown through the field. Danny Stiller is now in P7, Alexis Beast in P8, Santo in P9, Notzer Vapor on the edge of points in P10, Worry Cloud in P11, Husky only in P12, Luke Tourette in P13, Zayek in P14, Awesome Gumball P15, and Vicensky in P16. But looks like Ikos Yuki is getting ready to get back underway. So it looks like Elian Bayern has for some reason overtaken the entire grid, and that's given him a 5-second time penalty, but it looks like he is now going to be leading the rest of the grid for this safety car restart, and I have no clue why he's gone and done that, as he's stayed out and he's let everyone through. So has he disconnected from the session? No, he's still in the session. I have no clue. It's very confusing watching these races, because some of the decisions that the drivers make are very interesting, as he breaks really late into time 1. He gets another 5 seconds. It's absolute chaos here. What is he doing? I have no clue what he is doing, as he completely takes out Notzer Vapor coming out of the first chicane. And that is absolutely disgraceful to see from Elian. I have no clue what he's doing. He overtook the entire grid off of the safety car restart, broke late into turn 1, hit into the back of Luke Tourette, I think it was, and then just took Notzer Vapor out of the race. I think that's going to be heavily penalised from Elian. I have no clue what he was doing. He was in such a good position in this race with fresh softs compared to everyone fresh as mediums, and he's completely thrown it away. And I don't think there's any other word to describe that apart from stupid. So he's completely thrown away his race, and that's going to be a big time penalty. Not only a time penalty, but he's going to get a lot of penalty points too on his license, which could lead to qualifying ban and even race bans. So yeah, that was some pretty crap racing, I guess you could say, from Elian, who is now down in P9 and is coming into pit lane for a new front wing. So yeah, no clue what's going on there. But yeah, from what I saw, he's now retired from the session. That was pretty crap driving. And he's retired from the session, so he doesn't care. But Not Sir Vapor and Luke Red have been affected by this. Not Sir Vapor has completely broken his front wing and has actually left the session himself. So he's actually quit the race there. And yeah, that was... I really don't know what kind of punishment Elian is going to get after that one. Because from my angle at least, that was disgraceful, to be honest, is the only word I can use. But let's focus on the battle at the front. Ecos Yuki has managed to maintain P1 as Ace Senna actually moves up into P2 with Electric Envy in P3, Mango in P4. Zudi has now moved up into P5 with Alexis Beast in P6. But looks like Ace Senna is getting nice and close to the back of Ecos Yuki as 4-lap fresher tyres. And with the slipstream and the ERS, he's going to be looking for a move around the outside into Parabolica. He's using plenty of the ERSs. It actually looks like Electric Envy has retired from the session. Let's get on board with Zayak to see where he's retired. And it looks like he's retired on the some point at the end of the straight, so I'm not sure what's happened there, if he's made contact with another driver, but he is now out of the session, and it's a double retirement for Ferrari, who were looking good for a big constructors battle, and really getting a nice little points haul in this race. But yeah, they've both been, well, not taken out. Edian took himself out, and I'm not sure what happened to Electric Envy, but they are now both out of this race, and Ace Senna has inherited the lead. Ecos Yuki has fallen all the way down to P11. A lot of people are leaving the session. I'm not sure if we need a restart or what's going on, because I'm having a quick look. It looks like we might actually be getting a restart here. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I have no clue. I guess it all started with Elian, who for some reason just overtook everyone on the restart, and ever since there was a bit of chaos. So everyone is now leaving the session and retiring from the session, and it looks like it's going to be a restart with a 25% sprint since we were halfway through the race. So yeah, no clue what was going on there. I still have no clue what is going on, but all I know is that it's a lobby restart, and it's going to be a 25% sprint, and that's going to determine the end result. So since it's a lobby restart, I have to actually close the game. I have to restart my game to join the lobby and not glitch it out. So that also means I have to shut off the stream. So if you're in the LSR Discord server, I'll be sure to post the link once again. And if you're not from the Discord server, just stay on the channel page and keep refreshing, and the stream should be back up in 2 to 5 minutes. So I'll see all of you guys once I get the stream back up.